It is Tuesday. Wait, is it really Tuesday?
Yep.
Hey, Tuesday is coming. Did you bring your coat? I live in a giant bucket.
Start this
Remember that thing?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
We'll start it in a second. And, remember
you're wasting beautiful gold.
Am I?
I don't know.
Well, the answer to that question is, of course, no, because it is recording. And that's the fun. And it's been recording. And that's the joy.
When?
Oh, it's been.
Great.
Yeah. We're smoking joints today because
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the Snow Apocalypse 2.0. And I wanted to take some time to briefly... Alexis is enjoying a Moscow Mule. Blowing bubbles in it like a child.
I like
And
it.
skipping yoga tonight, where normally she giggles like that when she does happy baby. Her favorite yoga and sex pose. Where you grab your feet and you roll around and giggle. Were I a foot man, I think I'd like it more. But I'm an ass man, and it all works out in the end. Happy baby. So yeah,
Sound.
yeah, it is fun to blow bubbles in your drink, isn't it? It truly is. We went to a friend's birthday. It's funny too. Like I think I got it either fucked up or you said it wrong. Like I at first I didn't realize it was Shannon's birthday. I thought it was Cheyenne's birthday. Because they have almost the same name, and they were both there.
You fucked up.
And they were both... Well, I didn't say happy birthday to either of them until I was sure, and then I did to Shannon later on.
Yeah.
Shannon was also dressed like a villain from a thing and with a glass of wine, and she doesn't normally dress like that, so I'm like, oh, it must be your birthday.
She does when the girls go out.
And that's good. You gotta have a little bit of style.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go out in a camouflage shirt with your favorite gun ammunition on it. Sometimes you dress in a sparkly black thing with a bit of a turtleneck cut. And yeah, either way, you're looking fabulous.
We do really appreciate a good turtleneck the older you get and the more villainous you become.
Yeah. I have such a... And you know this. Like the evil... secretary to the supervillain is such a look. Like it's nice boots and a pencil skirt, bit of a tight turtleneck thing. Like how Betty Draper dresses when she rides a horse. She also looks like some sort of weird supervillain.
You want me to look like an equestrian?
That has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with the cut of her shirt and the tight pants and the tall boots. And I think a lot of people
I have a
enjoy
lot
that.
of those, minus the horse.
Yeah, you don't need the fucking horse. Nobody really likes horses that much, except for people who get their hymen broken by them.
I like horses.
Whose parents... Well, yeah, I mean, I like them as, like, a friend.
I got bit by a horse.
Yeah, you're the only one that's ever been bitten by a horse.
The nice horse.
Yeah, why did the nice horse bite you?
Like a blueberry.
It sounds like a creepy... Why did the nice horse bite you? It's like a scary riddle.
First off, this, horse was, in someone's backyard. Like, when I think of people having horses... Okay,
that's where they live.
First off...
They have a house and the horse is in the backyard. It's a big backyard.
No.
Maybe
First
the size of Jake's backyard. Ooh, Jake should get a horse.
Yes, he should. I want to play with it.
Let's really try to get him to horse around to
So,
this.
first off, I'm going to start this with, it was in Ohio. That should help, understand some things.
Oh, so it was like a ghetto horse.
Second off, this house didn't have a barn. It, had a shed that it kept the horse in.
A barn is just a big shed.
No. This was a shed you would put your lawnmower in, not your horse.
Okay.
And so then that was in the back, and then amongst all of the trash and stuff, they had a horse.
Amongst all of the trash. So you got bit by a trash horse. Yeah, trash horses
I could have gotten rabies.
They got rabies. They're covered in garbage. You get botulism from a trash horse.
I just hurt stuffed my toe.
What did you do? Oh, yeah, watch it. There's a lot of garbage under the desk.
And a horse.
Yeah, in the garbage horse shed.
So then they were saddling the horse, and they're like, this is the nice horse. And they're like, can you hold the reins while we saddle it? And I was like, dumb. And so I was like, sure. And the horse didn't want to be saddled, apparently.
Well, you can't spell saddle without sad.
And then it turned, and it grabbed my arm, and then it ripped up. And then I was like, ah!
Rip.
Yeah, basically. Ow, I really stubbed my toe.
You really got bitten by that horse.
So, then I was like, okay, I'm done. But no, the dad's like, no, that's fine. I don't know what the fuck her name was. Bessie's the nice one.
Bessie, like, when she bites you, she likes you.
Picked me up and put me on the horse. And I was like, and so, yeah.
Wait, who the hell were these people? Were you related to them?
They actually were... I went to school with this girl, and she just so happened to move to Ohio, and that's where, at one point, we bought and kept the boat.
Oh, right. The Ohio boat.
So, yeah.
Near the garbage horse.
Basically, we reconnected, and then her horse bit me.
Did you ride it later?
Well, he picked me up and put me on the damn horse, and so I was just.
I mean, was that all right though? Did that go good?
I mean,
did you horse around a little?
No.
Okay.
But later on, I went to the doctor because where the horse bit me, like underneath my skin, there was a large like rock.
Oh, you were growing a hoof. You're turning into a werehorse. That happens.
I'm gonna hoof you in the front butt.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. But it was
basically like they caused so much trauma that like the area just like shrunk together and created like a rock.
Oh, yeah,
it's not there anymore. It's gone, but it was there.
That's terrifying.
Yep.
Do you know that I realized or I read the word man didn't used to mean like man with a wiener. It meant like human back in the day. And in the old Germanic that most of English is derived from, men and women were differentiated. Men were called wermen, and women were called wolfmen. And that's why werewolves are called werewolves and not man-wolves or whatever, because it's like comes from that same ancient Germanic tongue. And if it was a female one, it would be a wolf-wolf.
A wolf-wolf?
A wolf-wolf. It's like a MILF, but a wolf and a wolf.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I thought you said a wolf-wolf.
It's a wolf-wolf.
Like, woof-woof.
It's like moon. Yeah.
What's a moon?
It's this internet meme where your werewolf name is like this column with the first letter of your first name and this column with the first letter of your last name. And someone, if I don't remember, but somebody it would be like dark moon or blood claw or whatever, but it's like J was moon. Ooh. So if someone's name was like Jeff Johnson, they'd be Moon. And so like my werewolf name is Moon, and it was like the dumb werewolf that always fucked up. It's like, God damn it, Moon. And
what's your stripper name?
What is your stripper name?
It's like the street that you grew up. Wait, the name of your first pet and the street that you grew up
or
on.
Porno name.
Well, same difference.
And our first pet. No, we had the bird before we had the dog. Our dog's name was Baby when I was a kid, and that would have been a good porno thing. So if it was like if it was your first pet and then your street,
name,
it'd be Baby Sheridan. Or actually, we lived on 69th Street, so it'd be Baby 69. And so that's funny. But our bird's name was Burrito.
Mine.
So Burrito Sheridan.
Do we? Okay.
I like it.
Do we count like pets my parents had when I was like not born yet, or do I count like my first pet?
I'm pretty sure it's your first pet, not a different thing that isn't that.
Mine would be Sheba.
Okay.
And 175th.
Yeah. So whenever somebody had like a number that they lived on, like, so I came up with a thing for aliases, which was your middle name in your street. That's why I put Wesley James as a kind of nom de plume a lot, 'cause it sounds sort of believable, and my parents' house is on James Avenue. And that's where, like, mostly I lived for a long time. And a friend of mine, though, he's like, my name's then Douglas 14th. And I'm like, I like Douglas 14th. You could be like a Russian czar from the Middle Ages. Yeah, he's like, I'm Douglas the 14th. Yeah, that would have been great.
Huge wangus.
Douglas the 14th, I believe, did not have a huge wangus, but
Douglas the 14th inches.
Douglas the 14th inches.
I like it.
I was measuring something at work that had to be 4 inches long, and that's the average, the actual American, which is.
Mine was 6.
No, No.
I thought 6 was the average.
No, it's
then
fucking...
Someone in high school lied to me.
6, okay, well, I'll put it like this. Mine is 6. And it's like, oh, you have like a fucking cock on you. And it's like, yeah, you know why it seems that way? It's because the average is 4, which means plenty of them are lower than that. Or it's like 4 point something.
What is the average? What do I put? Penis length?
Penis length, yeah. And it's all kind of screwy because, like, it changes length a bit depending. Some people's don't, some people's do.
Based on studies, the average length of an erect penis is between 5.1 and 5.5 inches. That's very specific.
Is that globally, though? Because I think it's America. That's like 4. Because there's, like, you know, that's factoring in Africa.
Average.
Yeah. For, like...
do you want me to put in the United States?
Well, that is where we live.
What is the average penis length
in the United States?
USA.
This ain't Soviet Russia. I want to hear about that American wang.
You don't want that Chernobyl length?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that would probably be about 3 feet.
Okay,
that is. And
based on previous
suction.
studies about the distribution of penis length and erect penis length was estimated as I fucking was right, 6 inches.
All right, so I'm average for an American.
And the circumference as 5 inches. What?
No, that doesn't.
That doesn't make sense.
The circumference, the distance around, that's like huge. That would be like a can of ravioli or bigger, actually. Like, no, that's not. I was reading something that was actually accurate and not just the first thing that. But anyway, like, measuring things that are...
I found it here. Well, they're talking about flaccid. The average flaccid length is 3.6.
That's lower. Okay, I don't know. Either way, I heard of various...
soft dicks?
Maybe I was reading the old Softy dictionary.
Soft dicks McGee.
But I was, like, measuring things that were between 4 and 5 inches, and I was like, wow, that's it, huh? Like, for some people. And then 6 isn't, like, obviously big. Or maybe it's average. I don't know. I kind of think it's not, though. Also, you do have to estimate that, like, nobody's telling the truth of this. So it's like the average is probably, like, 3.
Unless it's huge.
Yeah. And even then, like, if it's 8, why not say 10? Like, seriously, like, why would you just not, like, exaggerate your wang at all times? Yeah.
2 numbers.
I like to round up to whatever sounds bigger. Well, okay, let's do a... If it was 10.5, wouldn't you be like, I got a solid foot? Like, you would just kind of, like... At that point, like, it doesn't fit all the way in.
I don't know if everyone wants to put a foot in themselves.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody's weird about length.
Subway.
Yeah. Oh, right. And I was thinking about this.
Fruit by the foot. Like...
Because I was thinking about, you know, the height and length and the size of things. But I was measuring stuff. But so... I need to preface this a little bit. This reminded me of this.
Please do.
So we went, it was our friend's birthday, and that's where this all started. And we went to the sushi restaurant that inspired my comedy bit about how I want to make enough money where the only children at the restaurant are wearing a suit and tie and staring at the floor in silence. You know, and I'm like, originally, like, I never, it's like big for me, right? To start caring a little bit more about money. Because all I wanted to ever really do was just to avoid living on the street. And I came close a few times until I realized I could just park on the grass. But I hope that's funny, because I kind of might want to do that one. But anyway, we were in said sushi restaurant.
I like hiding behind the...
Why? Oh, you like hiding behind.
It's funny.
It is funny. Yeah, either you smoke that shit, or we're going to have a problem. Eat your sandwich, Dave.
What is that?
It's from when
Eat your sandwich, Dave.
Who is that? Not Bryant Gumbel. Who's the younger black celebrity guy that, like, white people really like?
Dave Chappelle.
No, they all hate him now.
Right.
Or at least the really fat ones with blue hair hate him. But no, like, goddamn, I know the second I say his name, he'll be like, oh, but he's like, kind of like game show hosty, Good Morning America type of a guy. Fuck, I don't remember his name. And it's like, again, this is one of those things where people are like screaming into their headphones, like, who? No, we know who that is.
Like any game show.
Yeah. No, he had that bit where he was with Dave Chappelle, and he was like, the idea is that, like, you know, like, white people like this guy, so it's like they think he's kind of, like, soft or whatever, but then, like, Dave Chappelle goes to hang out with him, and they're, like, doing drive-bys and, like, slapping hoes and shit. And he's like, where's my buddy, bitch? And Dave's like, word? It's like, I don't think you should hit that woman. And Dave's like, you're lucky my friend Dave's in the car, or else you'd be getting... But it's, like, somebody who would be very funny to see them act like that, and it's just... I space names like hardcore, so I was like, I don't know. But anyway, there's a point where it's like he hands him a joint and he's like, I don't know that this is actually weed. He's like, either you smoke that shit or we're going to have a problem. Do we have a problem, Dave? And it was very funny.
Well,
and it was like
CBD.
Well, I think what they were smoking was PCP.
Oh, well, this is not that alphabet.
Yeah, I'm living the dream. They were throwing away a bunch of CBD at work, and like everyone there is such a pothead that they don't care about it. And
but
like
we care.
I was like, yeah, I'll take it. We'll make it into things. We'll smoke it. We'll do whatever. And this thing, it was like sealed with like in jars in shrink wrap plastic. So it's like, well, you can't sell it. But I mean, I don't think that it's changed at all. And since I do like smoking CBD, because here's the trick: you smoke an entire pre-roll of it, you feel a certain kind of way, and it's the kind of way that I like.
Nice.
Our friend Cora brought me from, and we will soon be recreationally legal here. There'll be no one to stop us this time. But she got it in Chicago, where in Illinois, you know, it's recreationally legal, and it was a drink that was like 2.5 milligrams for the whole can, and I spent like 3 hours slowly drinking it, and it still just all it gave me was anxiety. I'm like, God, I cannot eat this stuff. But I can smoke a little, but I really like CBD. I'm the kind of guy that just likes to just consume CBD like crazy to feel like a little bit nice, and then have just a touch of real weed to feel like a little bit weird. But the weird's only really good on top of the nice. And honestly, all that's only really good if I've had a drink or two. There you go. I was doing the French inhale, and you're doing loops.
Loops?
May I have some loops?
Brother.
May
I have some loops?
May I have some loops? So, anyway, we went to the famous all-you-can-eat sushi place, and our friends, well, your coworkers, people I've seen before, we'll call them that. They brought a child who was a reasonable child, but I was like, oh, look at us. Even we have a child with us in this place. No one can resist the pull. But later, we went to Dave & Buster's, where Alexis and I used to go to Dave & Buster's a lot because we lived in Bloomington, and the Southdale Mall has a Dave & Buster's, and I was a freelance weirdo, and you had Mondays off. And so we'd be like, oh, let's just go during the day, during the school year, haha. Like nobody was in there. And just drink at the bar and play games and win tickets. And we discovered that, and I think they've probably changed this because this was pre-pandemic. This is probably 2018, 19. We were doing this shit. You could win a bunch of tickets, you know, like Chuck E. Cheese, and you could either get like, you know, you have 4,000, you can get a pencil eraser, and kind of the same, you know, you get like 100 million, you get like a PlayStation 4 or whatever, but same where it was like, oh, you could buy like stuffed animals and crap and just fill your house up with Horde.
Cramp.
And then though they were like, oh, but for enough tickets you can get food vouchers, and weirdly it wasn't a psychotic amount. Like, you could either get, like, a pen or, like, a plate of nachos. Like, it was a little, like, balanced, kind of fucked up. And we were good at a bunch of the games. Like, we were really good at the ones where Alexis was good at the weird ones where you had to kind of guess where the thing would, like, go and you'd stop it. And then, like, I was notoriously good at the one that was, like, playing a giant game of Simon. Like, we were just do-do-do-do-do-do. It's like, wow. Like, I played this twice for, like, $2 or whatever, and I got enough thing for a plate of chicken strips, which are like $9 or, you know, so it kind of like, so we just collected all these tickets and we just basically ate, like eventually we would just go and just screw around and just eat for free. Like I'd buy booze and whatever, but then we would just have like nachos and chicken and stuff, and it was like this weird Monday outing, and then COVID happened and we stopped going, and then we moved, and then all this other stuff. You still have Mondays off, but I became a working stiff.
I don't know if I like this new one. I like the Edina one.
Yeah, I think the Southdale Mall one is actually like a lot better. But Yeah, where were we? Maple Grove? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Maple Grove something. It's not in, for one...
like a casino, and it does have a bigger, like, restaurant.
Yeah.
But, like, it has more kids, like, tiny games.
But that's not the place. The Southdale one probably would have been just like that if we had gone Saturday at 1 in the afternoon like we did at this.
I mean. Not the kids. I said it has, like, kiddie games.
Oh,
like, it was missing a lot of, like, the ones that I like the timed ones, a lot of, I mean, and then granted, maybe the Edina one also.
Yeah, it might be because, like,
changed.
3 years has gone by. Like, the times they are a-changing.
Oh my god, get all these kids out of here. Dave and Buster's is supposed to be for adults.
No, it's not.
It was advertised to me as that.
It was advertised to both adults and little people. And you know what? I think we should watch an old Dave and Buster's commercial that I found.
Okay.
That prominently features, well, not children, but little people, you know. And by the way, I had to type in a lot of weird shit to find this because I think they didn't want people watching it, frankly.
My head is a TV!
Your head is now a TV. Oh, yeah, Meredith was like, please put that there so no one can see me. That was her big thing. Yeah, right here. Wait, is that actually doing this?
Why is there two?
Because this one I can interact. Check this out.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Susan.
They're going on a date.
You brought your fun?
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's this fun.
My fun really loves it there.
You didn't say anything about Dave and Buster's. I thought you were going to a movie. Give me 5 minutes.
Oh, wait, I don't think these are real little people.
Everyone's got a little fun in them.
No.
I thought they were actual, like, it's just them. Oh, this sucks. I remember this, but look at it. It's a David Buster's Giantess ad. They were just like, I hope someone jacks off to this thing.
What?
And they will.
What's a giantess?
A giantess is when... All right, so there's like...
loves a woman.
Very, very much.
And they put their average length penis.
They do, into her butthole because she's so large she barely notices. No, a giantess, it's like, I mean, so it's like...
I know what a giantess is. I was being
Oh, okay. Well, no, maybe the audience doesn't. So it's like in real life...
Audience, can you tell me what a giantess is?
If you're an average height man, which is still probably shorter than me,
Height
and you're
man?
an angry little fucker, and you're like, I want like a 6'5",
Dillo.
200-pound woman who, at that height, like, height adds weight more than girth does, really, to people. We're just like, someone who's 6'5" might have a flat stomach, but weigh like 250, like, it's a thing. And they're like, oh, I want a big lady to sit on my face. Yeah, it's like the guy from Game of Thrones, where it's like, where's the big woman? Like, there's people that are like that, but that guy's a big man, and he just wanted to make big children with her, and that's understandable. But there's weird little men that want a very big woman, and then there's like creepy, like, sort of crappily special effected porno where it's like a super huge lady that's like, oh, yeah, I'm holding you and I'm your tiny little man. I'll put you in my boobies until you suffocate. And they talk like that, which is accurate. Because she'd be like 100 feet tall, so her vocal cords would be, hello. Yeah, no, it's...
You're doing great.
I am doing fantastic. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm a little disappointed about that ad. I actually remember because I was watching it on
You had standard?
broadcast TV. No, like, and it looked like different people, but I think they did the Lord of the Rings thing where they just kind of used a lot of
zoomed
perspective
out?
and green screen and stuff. Yeah. Like, I thought they had just found people that were kind of like the Wee Man lookalike, where it's like, they found, but this is still important content because they didn't use real little people. There's an entire actors guild that's got a separate subsect, just for them, and they've taken food out of hardworking little people's mouths by just using special effects
Well, I
instead.
look smaller.
And
if I
where's
go in the background?
the love? Yeah, if you go sit on the couch back there. I always try to get you to just be like the third person, like on the. Oh yeah, by the way, Meredith hasn't been around for a variety of reasons. Oh no, look at my tiny little wife. Oh, it's just.
It's my face.
I crush your head.
I can't see.
No, you just hold still. I got you. There we go. I have your face now in my hand. Listening to this. There we are. That looks kind of fake. Like a special effect. Here, hang on. Oh, I don't know how to move my... All right. I was going to try to make it look more realistic, but then I'm like doing this...
Can I get your big head?
Yeah, grab my skull, please.
Okay, hand. Stay
Do
there.
it better, though.
This hand. Wait.
Oh, I'm free! Oh, I'm free! You can't get... Oh, that'd be nice. Thank you so much for that.
Come on, there you go.
So anyway, like my normal podcast host and our friend Meredith...
My blueberry shirt.
Yeah, there you go. You're naked under there. Well, nope. No one believes it because they can see that you're wearing pants. It's,
This is after work.
Meredith.
I just got home.
There's a snowpocalypse going on, which I have to refer to, and then B, she also on ice. This has been the worst fucking she slipped and busted her ass on the.
Don't break that.
And should probably bring suit against the place where she currently works because fuck them. And also I think that falling on someone's property, I don't know how the long hard road out of hell of a lawsuit that really is. I don't know.
Going through hell.
Yeah.
Keep on moving.
Keep on slipping and falling at some fucking dump of a... What are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay. We're listening to the rock and roll.
What?
But yeah, so if I manage to get my shit together and put this podcast out on, I don't know, tomorrow, Wednesday, hopefully you'll be watching it and listening to it while 2 feet of snow are landing on Minneapolis.
Oh,
Which...
Feel bad for us.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the shit soup with us together.
Or if you live somewhere that it's just kind of they're like, hey, it's warm here, but it's 900% humidity. Everyone's on meth and women aren't allowed to have birth control. It's yeah, I'm not moving to your state, Peter. It's a very... By the way, I love you, and we're working on some wild things together that I wish I could yell about that, but no, we got schemes. I should hold the schemes together until the dreams come true.
Forever.
Not forever. When it does happen, it'll be hilarious. But I was working on that a lot, and I was kind of the Lord almost did me a favor because it's oh man, I really want to talk about this thing that I'm doing, but I shouldn't. But I don't know what else. It's all I've been doing, and
thank the goddess.
Yes, I will thank the goddess and the mushrooms too. And but luckily at the buzzer. At the end of February, which I understand it's still winter, but we're just getting hit. Okay, so let me just put this all in perspective. If you are in Minnesota, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, you're not. And you're going to be move. And it's well, where are you that it's warm? It's Alabama. And it's go fuck yourself. But the thing is
we don't fuck dogs.
So, yeah, you go fuck you don't have to fuck yourself. You can fuck your dog.
No.
Or your sister, whoever. And the point is that, what is the point? Oh, yeah, right. So, earlier this year, was it this year when the real nasty snow happened? Or was it technically before Christmas? I don't remember. Fuck. It's all...
Before Christmas.
Oh, okay. So it was the 2022... Okay, so this doesn't add to that or anything.
I think.
But either way, a few months ago...
Unless it was in January.
Maybe it was. Damn, I don't
Christmas and January are close enough.
Yeah, but the year rolls over, and that's what I want to know. Oh. Because if this... Here's what I'm getting at. If this, 2 fucking feet of snow that we're getting...
They're saying it's the record. People are already being told that what we're going to get is, the record.
What record, though?
Of snow jizzing all over us.
What, at once, ever, or per year? Because that's what I'm about to talk about.
Maybe per.
Okay, because that's why... Well, okay, so I'll say this. If the last giant, big, fucked up, I would love to have actually gone to work, but the snow was up to the windshield of my car. I actually can't. I cannot go. There is no way. I can't get out of the alley, and even if I do, the street, hasn't been plowed yet. It's up to the windshield of my car. There's a certain point when you just... It's not well, could you put it in a lower gear? And that I did want to talk about that. Capitalism is such a bitch. we were discussing this earlier where, like, you know, we were all lucky to have a job where it's like no one's going to be, like, mad. Nothing's going to happen if, like, yeah, no one really showed up today because they couldn't get here. It's like, well, okay. And it's like, I can also rig up a thing to work from home or whatever, but sometimes it's just like, yeah, or I'll just take the L and be like, I'm just going to write a song today. Like, I'll just take but that's a luxury I know that I have. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, oh, okay, like, I don't really have to do anything. It's snowing, but it's not the difference between, like, I know there's people out there that, like, take the bus to their 3 jobs, and if it snows so much the buses can't go, their boss is like, well, I mean, can you flap your arms and fly? We really need you, and this is going to count. This is going to be a point against you, like, da-da-da-da. And it's just absolute bullshit. Like, it's so stupid and bad, and I do know how lucky that I am. And we were screaming about that, just being like, yeah, like, if it just snows this bad, you can just go, well, I don't care. But so many other people are out on the roads because they're like, yeah, well, they have to, like, they don't have a choice. Like, they have to go to work. Because there's some bad weather days where I'm like, I like driving in the fucked up weather. Like, it's really fun. Like, my car, like, preface being that, like, if no one's gonna just ram into me.
That's my shtick.
Yeah. Like, driving my Prius, which is this low to the ground, it has, like, an electronic motor in it and shit, so it's like you can, like, shift between the engines and stuff. It'd be like, you can fly around, but it's like, that's lots of fun, but then there's going to be somebody parking to pick up grandma who's 80 to go to her job she still needs because we live in hell. Like, it's just like to, like, pulls her out in front of you in a Metro Mobility thing. You're like,
Yep.
You got to not slide it. But if, like, the freeways were clear, it's like I could just go, like, spinning in circles. Like, look, I grew up playing Mario Kart. Also, my dad, we were talking about this too. My dad made the right call, and he taught me to drive in early February during the worst, in the, like, broken car that I bought for my grandparents for like $400. And, like, it was like, all right, we're gonna, like, drive through downtown now, and it's just, like, on black ice and shit, which is why now, like, it's terrifying and it's weird, and I just have my elbow resting on my knee, and I'm, like, driving with, like, these 3 fingers, just, like, eating a burrito and just, like changing the songs on Spotify, and I'm fine. I'm just like, I spun around, I just gotta let off the gas and turn into it, and, like, here we go, and it's like, okay, good.
I saw a thing coming back home today, and I'm really confused, so I'm coming home, but on the opposite freeway traffic, they had a line. And, like, I'm targeting, like, a line, but they were, like, spaced out. A line of 20 cops with their lights on.
Where was this?
Just on the freeway, highway, whatever.
Well, I understand, but, like,
going towards the city.
From
up by us somewhere.
From up by us towards where you work.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And so, but just, like, 20 cop cars. I have no idea what it was. I first, like, almost like if they were leading a funeral, but they weren't. Because they were passing everybody, and they were just, like, 20 fucking cop cars.
Oh, they were driving, though?
Yes.
Were their lights on?
Yes.
Okay.
All 20. And so I have no idea what that was.
That's usually, like, I remember one time, like, years and years and years and years ago, I was going to some just normal, awful, dumb job somewhere. So when I lived in Uptown, and, like, I couldn't get on 35. And it turned out Obama was this is how long ago this was. It's like they blocked all the freeway exits on 35 because, like, the president was driving down the street. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And yeah, that was interesting too because someone was like, where were you? I'm like, okay, do you watch the news, you dickhead?
Find it.
I can't believe I think I've been fired from one job ever, and I've had so many, and I've been such an asshole. Shit. This is the kind of podcast where I think I really do need another drink, but making a martini is a lot of work. So, I'm going to grab a beer. All right. Can you say something for, like, 3 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, talk to the camera like it's a person.
Okay.
Talk shit.
Say something, say something, say something.
Oh, God.
Say something.
Don't do that. Talk about the road being blocked off.
So, I don't like driving in the snow. But that's not because I can't drive in the snow. It's because people want to fucking kill me and hit my car. And so that's what makes it really difficult. Because people will tell you, hey, drive safe. And it's not like, oh, hey, you suck. It's like, oh, everyone else is gonna suck and want to hit you. There was a truck that literally, so everyone knows how many lanes on a street that they usually go on. So I know that there was 3 lanes, and I was in the middle one. And then this truck decided it doesn't want to be in this lane. Oh, it doesn't want to be in this lane. Oh, I'll go back to that lane. Oh, and I want to go into your lane. So I, like, squeezed by it like a turd.
Yeah.
And got in front and then kept going. But then everyone's just like, oh, we're just going to pretend there's no lanes. I know the snow's covering it, but you still know that there's lanes.
Yeah. Although occasionally, the snow covering up all the lanes, like, I loved when there'd be a giant blizzard when I'd be coming home from a concert where I knew the band or something, you know, like Psycho Stick would be here. And they'd be like, yeah, spoilers, everybody. Psycho Stick doesn't drink that much beer. They got famous from that song when they were younger.
Beer.
Yeah, so, like, when their friend John's there, it's like the club gave us, like, more beer than you could ever imagine, even though we asked them not to. They're like, oh, we'll make sure you guys are taken care of. And so it's like, they just give it to me and whoever I'm there with or something.
Oh,
This is a very specific story. They were playing somewhere. And I wasn't driving. I was very drunk. But my friend who was driving was very drunk. And we were like, what do we do? And we're like, well, you know, like, A, we're both good drivers. B, we can hold our liquor. And C, like, there's a giant blizzard right now, so you're going to have to drive home on the freeway at, like, 20 miles an hour. Like, so it's like, who's going to get pulled over? Just, you know, then it worked. And he was like, I'm really glad that I can't see any of these lanes because I am all over these lanes. I'm like, yeah. It worked out. You shouldn't drink and drive. Although, again, I was talking about a while ago how I really wish... Look, when you're a kid, you take your driver's test or whatever. You get your thing because you're like a teenager. You're not even 18 most of the time. You know, it's funny when your adult friends like you have to get a driver's license because they didn't, and it's like a million times easier because, like, yeah, you're over 18 now. You're like, oh, like, just take the test and then sign up for the thing. You don't have to wait 6 months. You don't have to do all that crazy shit. And the written test, like, I don't really even think you need to take, like, classroom classes to, like, guess that shit right. Like, by the time you're, like, 22, you're just like, yeah, okay. And we were discussing it at work, 'cause it's like, does it get easier as you get older? And my theory was that once you're over 25, they just basically, like, wave you through.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if that's true.
Well, because at that point, like, now you can rent trucks and things. Like, everything changes at that age. And then you'll also notice, and I'm not one of these people, but I just would like to point out that this is true, and it's not my fault for noticing. But when you move here from a country with no, I don't know, roads, laws, or like whatever, or winters, you can just come here and be like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, here's your driver's license. Because you're like 31. Like, well, yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with driving. So it's like, that's why you're like, how come when there's like black ice, there's people going like 100 miles an hour in a fucking maroon Honda Odyssey minivan? It's like, because like, you're just like, did you have a driver's license where you came from originally? And you're just like, yep. And so here you go. So, and I don't know, I'm not being like weird about that. I'm just saying it's like, I think as you get older and it's like, can I please drive? Same thing with the elderly.
Can I please drive?
Like, when you hit 80 years old, they don't go, it's all right, I'm going to make fun of old white people. Those are the worst people ever, so. But, okay, so when you hit 80 years old, they don't go, okay, you're going to take another test before we renew this license. They go, nope, here you go. And you're like, oh, I learned to drive on a dirt road in a tractor. And then just go flying through the snow like Santa Claus. And it's, you know, you're as old as Santa Claus, who I believe is about 900. And yeah, so they, you know, you get over a certain age and just sort of let anybody drive.
Ooh, good crack.
And
good crack. What?
I could use some good crack.
My spine's cracking. I can do this. I told my chiropractor. I don't know if she was proud or disappointed, but I was like, yeah, whenever I feel stiff, I just go like this, and then I crack.
Yeah.
Like, always. And I don't know if she was, like, disappointed. Do you not? I just go like this. Ooh, I got another one. I always crack.
As I do it, I make my George Lucas neck.
It's nice.
Ugh.
George Lucas or Jabba the Hutt?
Either way.
Ooh,
Jabba the
neck
Hutt had some
rolls.
good ideas.
Let's do some neck rolls, everybody.
Oh yeah,
Let's
you were
figure it
gonna
out.
do
I
yoga.
was gonna do yoga, but I don't want
You
to.
didn't want to do it online. Oh yeah, I had some kind of point about something. Oh yeah, it was just about
You had a point.
people. Well, yeah, people get forced to drive in the winter,
Yep.
and my ultimate point with all that shit I brought up is that there should be tiered driver's licenses. It shouldn't just be either you're allowed to drive or you're not. That is irresponsible and crazy. So, when you're a kid, yeah, like, you get a driver's license and it's, like, fine. But if you get, like, caught at 0.08 blood alcohol level, like, you get in big trouble, blah, blah, blah. But I do believe that, for example, when you're... Let's just put it all the way up to 30. Why not? Because you have a long life ahead of you. When you're 30, you get to retake your driver's test, and you can get as drunk as you want to get, but where you think you can pass. Like, you're for sure you can do it. There's a bar in the DMV, and you go, and hey, yeah, the drinks are a little expensive, but that's, it's government money. It's like, you want to take this test or not? Like, yeah, it's fair. Like, it pays for itself. It's totally fine. And you get to sit there and drink, and they give you a breathalyzer, and you're like, okay, like, you just blew, like, a 0.12, and you think you can pass this driver's test. And if you can pass the driver's test with that, like, you breathalyze and you go. If you think you can pass, and you take it and you do, then that is how drunk you can get before you get in trouble. So if you, like, blow, like, a 0.10, it's like, yeah, but this dude backed into a 90-degree turn after, like, 3 Long Islands. Like, yeah, he's fine.
There's no fear left in his body.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because my theory about this whole thing is always, like, okay, 2 things. 1, your dumbass can't drive when you're sober. That's a problem. 2, your dumbass can't hold your liquor. Like, I can do both. Like, I grew up playing Mario Kart. Again, my dad taught me to drive in, like, rush hour traffic in February, like, in Minnesota on black ice, and it's like, so I totally get it. Like, I can handle a lot of fucking shit, and there's a lot of people out there, it's like, oh, I learned to drive on a dirt road, and the only reason I brought up other countries, like, I drove over, like, there's no people that pull you over for driving weird, and there's no snow there. But I get to drive here now magically, and I'm like, okay, I do kind of also believe, it's like, if you move, and I mean anywhere, from LA, I don't care. Like, you have to take a Minnesota driver's test. It is illegal to drive in this state. You get, like, this little Minnesota shape and a snowflake just on the corner. It's the corner of your license. You're like, you have to take your driver's test. You have to blow a .04, just a little like 2 beers, because that's life. And then you have to drive in a simulated or real, depending on when. It's just like a thing that's, like, completely slick. You can't fucking see. And if we have to use snow machines and shit, like, ski hill, that's fine. And it's like, if you could pass that test, not only do you get to drive in Minnesota for the rest of your life, but since, you do get the little endorsement for, it's like, all right, and you drove a little drunk, so it's like, you also get a pass.
And your meal is free.
We're going to put a Dave & Buster's in the DMV. That's how this is going to work.
Dave and drunk drivers.
Dave Buster's.
Well, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
You know what a good idea is, though? Since we're talking about winter driving.
Okay.
I don't know why this isn't a thing, because it makes sense to me. They need to have a different, like, switch for lights when it's winter. Like, they need to have a winterized, like...
Headlights?
No, stoplights.
Oh.
Because some of them change so quickly, they don't take into consideration on how, like, slow
the fact that you're just going to slide into another car, like,
so they need to, like, the lights need to know, like, when it's, like, wintertime or something, to, like, slow down the transitioning. Because you can't just slam your brakes. That's what, like, tons of people do.
Well, like I've said, I've been in, like...
And I've had this idea since I was a kid, so I better get the fucking money for it.
Yeah, it's just a blue light comes on being like, it's blue light special at Kmart, you better hold your... Well, yeah, like...
You better hold your shit.
I've been in a few car accidents, and minus one of them, which also was a winter slippery accident, but minus one accident, every single car accident I've been in, I've been at a red light, and I got rear-ended really hard. Like, that's it. Like, that's like my whole, it's like, you've been in a few accidents. Like, oh, for stopping at a red light? Well, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oops.
Am I
My
in
insurance rates
trouble?
go up for stopping. Should I start running those bitches? Like, yeah. But that's the thing. Driving is, treated like a monolith.
Bullshit.
And make no mistake, I and former President Obama agree on this, and it's like, the gun control in this country should just at least be the same as the oversight for buying a car and driving. It's literally not. It's way easier to get a gun than it is to get your driver's license, which is fucking insane. But either way, I would accept guns at least as hard as car. That'd be something. That'd be fun. It would probably help a few things get avoided from happening that, are bad. But also driving, because it's not like car manufacturers and oil companies are like less powerful than the NRA. It's just that more people tend to drive than, like, everyone has a gun, but everyone has a car. Like, that's a bigger thing. And so it's like, getting them to mandate seatbelts was a nightmare. And that was the fun thing during COVID when they were showing people protesting seatbelts. It's like, this is how smart you look. You look stupid, but it's fine. But that everything that I've been saying, like, oh, there should be different licenses for, like, you have to, like, be able to prove you can drive on snow and stuff. It's like, the only reason we don't have that is not because no one else has thought of it. It's because they're like, well, it's going to hurt car sales if we're just like, if you're too much of a fucking idiot from California or some other country that can't handle driving on snow. It's like, well, then we can't sell this car. So we're going to lobby this rule away or whatever, and it's bad. I do know that, you get to take the test drunk, and then that's how drunk you get to drive or whatever thing. Probably nobody wants that. But again, but teetotalers and prohibition, the religious right, all these other people.
Well,
who is it really against drinking these days? Maybe nobody.
Sober people?
Yeah, but they're not like a weird religious voting block type of thing. It's interesting. Like, everything that's, like, bad is some giant industry trying to hang on to their power, like oil companies or whatever. But then, like, everything that's good, sort of, is just a different company outfit. So it's like, oh, yeah, like, we should be allowed to drink. And they're like, yeah, because we lobbied and we fought against the weirdos that don't want you drinking and da-da-da-da-da. And then you're like, we also want weed. And it's like, do you know who the biggest lobby groups against weed is? The booze companies. Absolutely. They're more so than even, like, medication companies and stuff. How do I know this? Because I know. But if you want to look at it for yourself.
Because I know.
Well, look how it works. Medical weed, legal way lots of places. Here even. Long before recreational is finally coming or whatever like that. So it's like, obviously the people who make Prozac and Oxycontin and stuff lost the battle more. They're like, okay, well, like, yeah, weed helps, blah, blah, blah. You're able to have it at least if you have the gout or the glaucoma or the period cramps or the nervous jangles, dropsy, shoemaker's knee, widow's eyebrow, whatever kind of thing. Well, you just gotta have a doctor.
It's a widow's eyebrow.
I don't know. I'm making things up. It's old-timey diseases.
Sounds
like
good.
old Doc McGillicuddy's fucking eyebrow medicine.
Doc McGillicuddy's cut off my dick chalk.
Yeah. So, you'll notice recreational has been much more difficult. It's not just the booze companies, but the booze companies are largely, like, behind that or whatever. So it's always lobbies. It's always the car lobby. Like, the car lobby is the thing trying to stop work from home. That's the wildest thing, and it's very obvious because it's just like, oh, if everybody who doesn't work at fast food just can do their bullshit email job from their house, it's like, why would anyone buy cars? Like, literally, if a third of people were like, fuck it, we each have a car, but we'll just have one car because we all work from home and we just needed to get groceries or anything. It's like, they're not willing to lose that money. Same way when, like, the oil companies paid Fox News to tell you that buying a hybrid made you gay for some reason, because it's like, well, yeah, hybrids use, like, half the gas. We're going to lose half our profits. So it's like, we got to convince everyone with a beer belly and a hat that it's like, oh, this truck is a... And so it's like, and it was an easy sell because everyone's obsessed with their truck. And yeah, but the idea that it's only that is totally crazy. Like, everybody lobbies things. Everybody tries to fuck with stuff. It's probably, all these record-breaking winters are probably from Big Snowplow. They're like, we are making it snow. And
snowplow.
Who doesn't love a big snowplow? Anyway, I was going to do maybe a bit more of a retrospective about the winters of long, long ago and the record-breaking things, although the problem is we couldn't really remember if this snowfall is going to get tacked on to the one that just happened, or if that was technically last year. But I think it wasn't. So I think, like...
We still have last year's snow, though.
Well, that's true, but I'm talking, this is records and science and bookkeeping. But what I'm saying is that... You are. And what yes. But what I'm saying is that if that last giant snowfall, that ranked like number 13, where the 91 Halloween blizzard is number 1 in the past 150 years. This one was like 13. But if we get like 2 feet on top of that, this will, not all at once, but pound for pound year-wise, break the record for snowstorm. So...
And with that...
That's fun. With that, we only have 10, 9, whatever minutes left.
Oh my god.
Which means we have to read from Dear Asshole.
Oh god.
Yep. I love that this got included. It's a gift that keeps on giving all year, Clark.
Asshole. Find one about snow.
I'm not finding one about fucking anything. I'm going in order. I'm dog-earing the pages.
Oh, puppy ears!
Yeah, as you can see.
You're supposed to get rid of them once you're done.
No, you're supposed to leave them for the assholes in your life.
Not the ones that are before the last one.
I love that. All right, so this one. All right, so this book, for those who don't know, I always re-explain it, is called Dear Asshole.
Oh.
It was written by a couple of Karens who had a big blog or some shit, so they got a book deal. Their parents probably paid for it. Who knows. And they wrote this weird passive-aggressive book called Dear Asshole, where it's just a bunch of tear-out pages that you don't even want to write your own passive-aggressive notes to people in your life that you don't like. You have someone write it for you, but then the other funny thing is that it's not even like, Dear asshole cop who shot my friend, I'm going to write you a note or whatever. No, it's like, Dear server who didn't fucking hop to it quick enough or whatever. It's like, and it's clearly racist, so it's like... it's like, oh, you're talking to the dishwasher with dreadlocks, yeah, man. And it's like, whoa. And this came out, like, the other year. I don't know who wrote this. Like, the Marjorie Taylor Greene and that other one. Like, I don't know. It is this Karen book.
Who's the asshole today?
Well, I'm a little bit willing to give this one a slight pass. For the first time.
Oh.
For the first time. Because and I don't read these ahead of time. My parents got me this for Christmas for some reason. Either because it was random or because maybe they're brilliant and they're like, you can use it on your podcast.
I told you that.
I know. So it was not their idea.
I'm brilliant.
Yes. This one is called Dear Asshole Dentist.
Ooh, can you sing? Can you sing?
Oh,
like as
it's gonna be
the
hard.
Song?
All right. So like, I haven't been to the dentist in like 30 years, and I hate it. And it's well, you know what? If anything starts to hurt or falls out, I'll go. But beyond that, like, I don't want tubes in my throat, and like, my gag reflex has barred me from gay porn before I even had a chance to apply. It's just, ruined my life. But it's also hard for like those hard to reach molars and stuff. But also, it's like you go to 3 dentists and one will be like, you have 8 cavities, and the other one will be like, you don't have any cavities, but you do need to blah, 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 blah.
Mine's a good one.
That's good, yeah, it's weird. You can have bad dentists. You can have asshole dentists. And
asshole
I hope...
dentist.
Asshole dentist.
Like.
Use the dentist system.
Oh, God.
And I doubt that the writers of this awful, stupid book are going to land on my same concerns. Probably just some populist idea of generally why you'd hate the dentist. And they're certainly not talking about the nitrous oxide huffing dentist played by Steve Martin in Little Shop of Horrors.
Tell me!
Which I want to watch. I don't think I could sing this. I would love to, but all right, here's what I'll do. Here's the halfway point.
Read the book.
I'll read it, and then when I find a part that maybe I could sing, like the thing, I'll do it.
Okay.
I just want to read it. Okay. Dear asshole dentist, stop asking me questions while my mouth is cocked open. Oh. Yeah, I doubt either of them are into that. Sure, I'd love to tell you all about how my aunt's bridge work is holding up, but I can't form a coherent sentence with my lips wrapped around this plastic torture device. I hope it's a monster dildo that lays eggs in your mouth. There you go. It's bigger than that, though. My tongue is numb. My tongue is numb. My face is dry. Fucked up and sitting in the dentist chair. Okay, and that horrid saliva vacuum is suctioning out my will to live. Well, I understand that. So forgive me if I'm not in the mood for your lame small talk. Just finish my fluoride treatment and get out of my face. Oh, out of your face. I get it, because he's in your face. And while you're at it, update the reading material in your waiting room. What, you forgot your phone, you fucking bitch? You cheap bastard. I'm sick of thumbing through the same 2 highlights magazines from 1987. Mumble, mumble. P.S. Your hygienist is a bitch. Is having to underline that as the first actually funny thing. Your hygienist is a bitch. Is your hygienist a bitch?
Yep.
That, yes. And the answer is yes.
Does she look like a bitch?
Sure, I'd love to tell you all about how my aunt's bridge work is holding up, but I can't form a coherent sentence with my lips wrapped around this plastic torture device. Ooh, yeah, it doesn't really flow like Steve Martin's amazing dentist
And your
character.
hygienist is a bitch.
And your hygienist is a bitch.
Ooh. Burn her!
Actually, I was just going to say, I don't know a dude... dental hygienist, but actually someone I know someone. To one. Oh yeah, my friend. I think they're married, so I don't know if her name is Laura Hine anymore. But her husband, who's a nice guy, who's neighbor boyfriend, I don't know, life partner. He's a man with a beard that seems like a cool guy, and I know his name, but I'm forgetting it right now. But anyway, he was working as a dental hygienist, and like. He was like, I think we take your insurance. You could come here to go to the dentist. And I'm like, that's so sweet, but I'm never going.
You're going.
Yeah, I know. They're just going to go, we need to take all your teeth out.
Going. Oh,
Pulling them out is free. It's $9 million to get new ones.
And then you can gum me, because then you can say, is it time for my
brush? I want dentures though so bad, so I can do the thing where I'm like, and I like they come out.
Your teeth are very long.
Yeah, long in the tooth is another word for getting old.
What?
Well, your gums do tend to recede a little bit as you age. So it's like, oh, I'm afraid I'm a bit too long in the tooth.
Ooh, wait, put your hand,
to join you the cross.
Put your hand in my bum and then make me your puppet.
Okay.
Tell me something.
Hi, Billy. How do you like school? I think it sucks. Yeah, this is stupid. Oh, yeah, right. I came up with a new oh, shit. I got a dog hole this page.
Don't you tell me what you're doing.
No, I was...
What is that?
What?
The next page is paper.
Your asshole keeps pushing the snooze button. But that's giving away next asshole.
We don't know when...
So, it flew away. Right. I wanted to make this very last point, though, because it's funny.
Okay.
Someone was talking about how their kid was complaining, it was probably in like 7th or 8th grade or something like that, how when there is going to be the big snowpocalypse, they can stay home, like there's a snow day, but then they can do remote learning still, like from COVID.
Yeah, we talked about this today.
And I realized that if I was younger, like if this at all, like if COVID happened when I was in like 5th or 6th grade, and now I was in 7th or 8th grade or whatever it would be, I'd be like, you know what, man? Like, I think that they did this whole thing, like the whole thing was fake so they could get rid of snow days. Because you know how they don't let us have snow days ever? And they just like, I guess you get to skip school. You need to go to this many days a year and learn the same fucking math and English class for like, you go to school for 12 years and you're like, yeah, that's cool. But you need to go to this $200,000 school if you want a real job. Yeah, well, you know what I mean? Where it's like, what the fuck did I learn for a like, if I focused on anything for a decade plus 2 years right now, they'd be like, John Wheeler is the foremost expert on whatever the fuck this is in the entire universe. But instead, you just don't learn anything. But you gotta go. You gotta go skull. You gotta go skull.
I have no sympathy for them, though, because I didn't get snow days. Our superintendent was such an asshole. He made us show up.
Dear superintendent asshole, give us no snow days.
He made us show up on some of the coldest, advisory restriction days.
Yeah.
And there was one time, still remember this trauma, that they still made us go out for recess.
His go out there and freeze your fucking tits off.
This is wrecked the camera.
I know.
Every single child was outside, huddled on the ground like a fucking pill bug, trying to stay warm.
Yeah, and it's like horrible. Will this fix it? It will.
I did. No, I didn't.
Oh, you did. Yeah, but anyhow, like, I know that I would have been a stupid little butt munch being like, they fake COVID just so that, like, they could take away snow days. We could still have to work. And it's true, like, if adult life was actually fun, you know, where you're like, you still get paid to stay home from work or whatever, like, oh, now you get work from home. You don't get a free day off.
Well, don't worry, babe. You are a butt munch.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is that I had pointed out to my friend who I was talking to that I was like, yeah, I would have thought that then, and I know better now. Because that's how my little 7th grade brain would have worked. And it's like, oh my God. Like, everyone now who's like, they just fake COVID so they could get us to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's like, oh yeah, you're 35 years old. And you're fucking as stupid as you were in 7th grade. Congratulations.
The Reverend John Wheeler podcast takes zero responsibility for the words, actions, or ideas of its host, guests, or listeners. Though the people on the screen may at times be speaking directly to you and may occasionally give you direct calls to action, neither Reverend John nor the Alchemical Cocktail Lounge are under any moral or legal obligation to answer for the potentially disastrous repercussions that may arise if you are stupid enough to actually follow the orders of a raving lunatic. Think for yourself and do whatever you want, because you're on your own. If anyone ever tries to sue this podcast, black SUVs will converge on your location in the darkness of night and you will never be seen again. Remember to like and subscribe.